We're really getting into business planning and having a good look at the strengths and weaknesses of business and having a look at the local market as well. I'm joined by two fairly new business owners here today, Nathan Casserly and Alex Owens. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for having us.
These guys started Owens Casserly about 12 months ago, is it?
Yeah, it's coming up from the 1st of November last year. We opened the doors, so you're right, it's coming up to 12 months. It's been fun and it's gone very quickly.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I've got some pretty tough questions for you guys about setting up the business and having a look at the local market. So thanks again for coming in and giving up your time. How important was doing that SWOT analysis for your business when you were sort of sitting around talking as guys thinking we could do this?
Yeah, well, very important. It probably started a good 6, maybe even 12 months beforehand. Nothing formal, but a lot of discussions, which was, I suppose, the early stages of planning. And then when we got up to that point of getting quite serious about putting a business together, we definitely did sit through and make it a bit more formal and went about the strengths and the weaknesses and opportunities and some threats that might come up, which just, I think, broke open the discussion points and saw things from some different angles.
It's probably really easy to see the strengths and opportunities in the marketplace, but how did you really go, okay, this could also be a threat to us, and what might not we be good at in the early stages?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, Emma, have said to us that, you know, you've started a real estate business in the toughest market and all this sort of stuff. So there was a fair bit of negativity, I suppose, based around our decision to go into business. So the threats obviously were, where is the market going to go? That's the big picture threat. Who else was going to set up in the areas that we potentially were going to look at to work in as well? But we just kept, I guess, logically working through those threats, and really for us it was more of a mindset than actual reality. And the Adelaide marketplace is it's very consistent. You know, it doesn't really have those mega busts and booms like maybe the Eastern States Gold Coast does, for example. So we're quite confident that with our systems and processes that we've established over the last 5 or 6, 7 years in real estate in our own business units and selling, we could put that across into a bigger business model and it would still work. So, but yeah, that analysis was crucial. We'd catch up every Friday morning for about 6 months or so before we made our decision.
Breakfast in the winter and Mount Lofty in the summer months.
You have started in a really tough market, but you guys are just doing really well. It doesn't happen by accident, does it? What do you really think?
Well, it's probably a little bit like your first question, the planning and preparation that's gone into it. And one of the points Alex was talking about was the threats, but if you're optimistic in your attitude, those threats, there's an opportunity there. And I think you just need to be diligent to go through that process. So you could see some opportunities and the market may have some challenges to it, but I suppose we don't look at the challenges, we just look at what opportunities are there, and maybe we felt that the challenging marketplace gave us an opportunity where the majority was sitting back and thinking, well, it's challenging, we can't be successful, where we went the other way and thought we could be successful. And then the consumer probably actually likes dealing with someone who does have that optimistic attitude and still get the job done.
We looked at the fundamentals of the real estate market, which were, the transactions were about 30% down on historic numbers. So we thought, well, we've got to increase our output by 30% to be back to normal sort of market standards. Over the year before, or the previous couple of years before, Nathan and I both had sold personally, I think 20 to 30% more properties every year in our real estate career. So we figured, well, if the market is 30% more light on with our systems that we've implemented, just that customer relationship sort of monitoring systems, you know, we've got a really good database to be able to keep up with a large amount of clients in a personal way still. And was one of the big parts that gave us confidence in to be able to grab that and put it into a big business picture and bring it into the marketplace. And since we've done that, we've employed, as you know, up to 20 people now, and they're all implementing those same systems. And most of our real estate agents now have increased their numbers by about 20 to 25% in the last 9 months in a market that has gone backwards. So we're glad we took the jump, and it's really working well for us.
Do you really keep an eye on your competition and perhaps also analyse what you're maybe not doing as well as you should or could? And how do you become that critical? It's hard to sort of do that sometimes, but
Yeah, that's something that you learn along the way. One thing I focused on very early on was watching not so much what my local competitors were doing, but I looked for people that might be doing something a little bit different, a little bit, I suppose, edgy, and ripped off and duplicated, essentially. Saw something good and I would take that and try and make it our own. So look, monitoring staff, competition in particular farm areas is very important to know your market share and know who you are really competing against in your area. So we do monitor that. My business manager takes care of that and pumps out market share reports on a weekly basis that are given to each of the salespeople in each given area. So we know at any given stage of what number out of 1 to 10 where we're sitting in regards to market share. So it's very important to that. It gives the staff incentive, it gives your salespeople incentive, and it gives us good guidance as to what we need to supply them with to help them to grow in those areas. So I think monitoring your competition is something that you can do as little or as much of it as you like, but the more you do, the more in tune with what they're doing and staying ahead of them in regards to marketing is what's going to give you, what's going to be the benefit of it.